Lisa Copeland, and I want to invite you to my show, The Big Sell. Are you ready to stop being a small player in a big world? Are you ready to decommoditize your business? Are you ready to stand aside from the competition? Join me every week on The Big Sell. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Art of the Big Sell. I am so excited to launch this show. I'm going to teach you how to create a movement and build an empire. Traditional marketing is dead, and how will companies not only survive but thrive in the year 2018? Companies know that in order to build an audience, that they need to build a movement, something that inspires and attracts people to get behind you and to seek you out specifically. And in this show, you're going to hear from innovative thought leaders from many different verticals every single week and learn how they did it. You see, they truly walk their talk, and I'll be interviewing people like Ali Rita, who just broke the world sales record in the automotive industry. In fact, the record was held by Joe Girard from 1973, the man who wrote the book, The Greatest Salesman Ever. Ali, you're going to enjoy what he has to say, and you're going to know that that's what it takes. It takes a movement. Brian Benstock, the #1 Honda dealer in the country. What's so great about him? Because he knew that there was a problem in automotive and he solved it. He created a movement, and he has said to the industry that the entire retail automotive industry needs to become frictionless. He created that, and then he is #1 in the country. And Jen Lim, the former consultant to Zappos for 14 years, she helped write the book, Delivering Happiness with Tony Hsieh. Talk about a movement. I think they were one of the first retail companies in the world that built a movement. It's all about happiness. You see, if your customers are happy and your employees are happy, then you'll have a world-class, scalable online business that someday you can sell to Amazon, just like they did. And I'm just name-dropping just a few of my fantastic guests. But again, we're going to teach you every week how you can build a movement. And from that, you're going to build an empire. So I want to take you back 30 years, a little bit about me. I got into sales 30 years ago, kind of by accident. I was selling skirts and I was a fashion major, and I wrecked my car in Dallas, Texas. And like any good fashion major, I'd not been paying my car insurance. So I called my dad and I said, "Dad, what am I going to do?" I said, "I need to get another car." And he said, "You need to figure it out, kid." And those were words that defined my life. So I did figure it out. I got a job selling cars at the #1 domestic car dealer in the country. Why, do you ask? Because I knew that I'd get a free car to drive. It took me 6 interviews to get the job. See, nobody believed that this young girl who's in college, fashion college, could actually sell cars. And a little secret, I'd never even walked into a car dealership before in my life. Not before the day I went in and applied. I'd never been there. My dad had always bought me a car, brought it home. If it needed to be serviced, he took it for service. But, out of necessity, a career was born. And what I did figure out about it, though, is that I loved helping people. Now, I didn't know very much. I didn't know anything at all. But, one of the big life lessons I learned, that people are really forgiving if you're really good to them. And if you take them, if they're more important to you than the actual sale and the actual commission, you see, I wanted all my customers to be delighted. And I'm sure they must have gone crazy as I was going back and forth between myself and my sales manager 15 different times, just to find out what the payment is. But, people are very forgiving and they love authenticity and transparency. And I was that, if nothing else. And then one day, a gentleman came in that really defined my sales career. And his name was Kevin. I'll never forget. He was the most beautiful man you'd ever seen in your life. Long, flowing blonde hair. Now remember, this was Dallas in the 80s. And Kevin had come in to look at Corvettes. And so all the guys on the showroom floor said, "Well, yeah, you can help him. This guy's been in before. He's not going to buy anything." And all I could think was, I loved his hair. I wanted to find out who did his hair. So I walked up to him and I talked to him. And I said, "Hi, my name's Lisa. How can I help you today?" And he says, "Well, I want to buy that Corvette out there." I said, "That's great. But can I ask you first, who does your hair?" And he said, "Well, I own a very prestigious salon in North Dallas. And so one of my people does my hair." And I said, "Oh my gosh." And he said, "Are you really willing to take me out to test drive this Corvette?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So as we test drove the Corvette and I made my hair appointment, I found out something that was pretty disturbing. I found out he'd been in there 5 or 6 times and nobody would even talk to him. Why? Because he looked different. Why? Because he wasn't just like everyone else. I'm not sure. I just know that when he came back in, he bought the car and he wrote a check for it. You know, you can never judge a book by the cover, but he had a fabulous cover. So as he started doing my hair and we had a great friendship, he also started sending me 5 to 8 customers every single month. Because you see, he was out telling my story. He said, she doesn't judge people. She doesn't care what background you're from or what your sexual orientation is. She's just really nice and she'll take good care of you. See, that's how you build customers. So that was another lesson I learned very quickly in sales, is that you don't judge a book by the cover. And I also found out that I truly loved people and I loved helping people. And that really helped escalate me all the way through the automotive industry. So I feel like even at age 21, I started to build my own movement. And my own movement was really power to the people. My own movement was don't judge a book by the cover. And then fast forward, you know, I had been in the car business about 10 years and I had young children at home and I didn't want to work Saturdays, weekends, and holidays anymore. So I got in the mortgage business and within a year, I started my own mortgage company. I did very, very well. To this day, we're still in business, funded over $1 billion in retail transactions. I started an insurance and financial services company along the way also, really with just my love of people. I just wanted to take care of the people. And then 7 years ago, I decided to dip my toe literally back into the automotive industry. I was consulting for a Central Texas dealer, and he had the opportunity to go to Detroit and possibly be one of the dealers chosen for bringing the Fiat brand back to America. So I went up there with him and we looked at the product. But what I got excited about was the opportunity, because they told us, you know, it's a blank slate. So he moved me off some of my other projects and he put me on the Fiat project. And my part of the project was I was going to write the sales process, defined what the facilities would look like. And I had a great time with it. I'll tell you, you know, we put it in a high-end shopping center. I read the book, Delivering Happiness. That's why it's so cool to have Jen Lim on the show. And I realized that the industry needed something different. It needed something to inspire people. It needed to be aspirational.